Yo, what's going on with Mini Jacked? YGO here, and today I'm here with the goo, the spice that I was talking about, Crystron Rescue Ace. It sounds really stupid, and it kind of is, but I just had this random idea one day while testing for Crystron for that one tournament that I won last week, and I just figured, oh, machine's the only thing really special with Rescue Ace. Is there a way to like incorporate both? And Rescue Ace also plays around a lot of stuff that Crystron loses to, like Droll and Lancia and Shifter, because you're just setting up Turbulence. And even in practice, a match I played like yesterday or 2 days ago against someone online, they drove me all 3 games, and I lost the first one because I went second. But the other 2 I just won because of the Rescue Ace engine. You just sit on a Turbulence, and what are they gonna do? Set 5 or set 4. So yeah, I'll just get in depth with it, and I'll also do some combos too, because it is really sick. Clockwork Knight is crazy. It's really sick how it actually like incorporates with each other, and it really just helps the deck a lot with some tech cards, which I'll show. All right, let's get started with the 1-card starters. I have these first off. Triple Inclusion. By the way, you bridge into both with 1 card. It's really insane. Inclusions, I think, is probably your best starter. It is your best starter. Yeah, I don't know if you guys know what Crystron stuff does. If you watched the video we uploaded a while ago for my Crystron deck, it just adds a card. And then in Graveyard, which is important for this combo, banishes to summon something back. Like the best card in the deck. Triple Smiger. Before, like, I don't know, a couple of days ago, I was like, how is this, like, when I was testing stuff, I was like, this isn't a 1-card combo, but with some cards it is, which I've incorporated. So yeah, I'll go into detail on how each of these are a 1-card combo in and of themselves. We're on the Terratop engine. Let's just talk a Tomboard. Yeah, let's get into Cherubini. Cherubini's OP, especially with another tech card, which I'll show. The Frog, I'll show you guys. And then another card you don't typically see in either deck, let me center these, is Triple Scrap Recycler. I know it's, kind of obvious you can just send Smiger with it, but the fact that it's not once per turn and it's revival with Clockwork Knight is insane. It really just elevates this deck and makes this deck a possible even thing in theory. And in practice, Scrap Recycler is like an insanely good combo starter. Yeah, and with 2 cards, it helps insulate your board even more, which I'll show you guys. And then the last but not least, Foolish Burial. Just like one of the best cards in your deck, because if you open like Rescue Ace stuff and Foolish Burial, it's just free. So yeah, let's start with the Crystron engine. The rest of it, it's kind of standard, except 1 card, which you'll see right now. 1 Citri, 2 Tristaros, and 1 Rion. So Tristaros and Citri are pretty standard and self-explanatory. Tristaros is still like one of the craziest Crystron cards. Dodges Imperm. This guy's in here for that, I'll show later. Dodges Imperm on your stuff. The banish to summon 2 is crazy. And even if this gets stopped in this deck, it doesn't really matter in some hands, in a lot of hands. Like if they Ash it or Impulse it. So yeah, that's why I'm really loving this build. Just started off as like a crack theory, and now it's just like, I don't know, it's really fun to find out lines, and I think I've solved it a decent amount, which is sick. Would I recommend this for a tournament? You'll see. Maybe, I don't know if it's solved enough yet for that, or if it's even possible, but it is 60 cards. That's one of the main reasons. And it's got a decent amount of bricks, but it's kind of expected with both engines. But yeah, Tristaros is just a crazy card. So on 2 of it. 1 Citri, just for like your end board and some end boards. Sometimes you just can't access Citri, but it doesn't matter with this build, so it's fine. And then the 1 Rion. The reason we were playing this is because with Tristaros, you can summon it, and it works with your Rescue Ace monsters. If you have a banished Airlifter and you summon Rion, you have Rion on your board on the end of the turn, for whatever reason, you can make a Dawn Dragster or a Samurai Destroyer, I guess. But the big thing is Turbulence to level 9. So you summon this off of Tristaros to try and imperm this. You don't have to waste your Infinity. And this just goes into Lagacia. And then, because a level 12 machine. And it just dodges imperm, gets you a free card, and if they have like a Bistio on board, you can pop it. So, I mean, they're not gonna be able to Bistio on you in this deck, but, you know, yeah. Unless you play bad. But that's it for the tuners. And then for the little guys, we're on, other than this 3 Smiger, 1 Thistivern, and then 1 of the Tortoise. I don't know how to pronounce this guy, I'm not even gonna try it. But he is integral to your combo, so you have to run him. Thistivern is also integral to your combo. You grab the turtle off of Thistivern. Yeah, just pretty normal stuff. And speaking of normal, triple Sulfafnir and double Sulfador. Honestly, with this build, I think these might be interchangeable. I still have to test a little more and see if it even matters, but it really doesn't. As long as you have 3 of one and 2 of the other, you're fine. The only reason I say that is because typically in your combo, you're going through a set of 2 of these, and then you want the 1 in deck for your Tristaros. So yeah. If you want to know what these do, this guy is just basically an E-Telly by pitching one. Pops the card you control, and then when it's popped, you summon a guy from deck. And then this guy pops the card you control to summon him, and then on summon Foolish Burials too. But he also machine locks you, which in this version doesn't really matter. Also, you build around that. And then the 1 cluster, in case you get there. That's just a crazy card. Insulates your board even further. Plays around like impermanent stuff, or droplets on your Infinity, or whatever you're ending on. So yeah. Now on to the Rescue Ace stuff. It is a fairly small package, for the most part. Like compared to like, you know, regular Rescue Ace stuff, you'll see. We're only on 1 Hydrant, because Hydrant in and of itself in this deck is not enough, as is with normal Rescue Ace. But yeah, you just really need 1 of it to get off your emergency, to get your additional effects. Your follow-up is mostly in your Crystron engine, not in your Rescue Ace engine. That was one of the deck building struggles I had at first, is I had like Promethean and stuff in my extra deck, but when push came to shove and when I had to start practicing, or got more practice in with the deck, I realized that Rescue Ace is not your grind engine part, except for Turbulence, and Airlifter, but yeah, I don't know, you only really need 1 Hydrant anyways. And then triple Airlifter, because emergency is like, yeah, emergency is emergency, but you also need the follow-up ones for your HQ to recycle all your stuff. So if Turbulence is left on board, even if not, you can still, whatever, if you grab back with Rescue or something like that, then yeah. Airlifter is just a crazy card, as you know in Rescue Ace, grabs you a spell. And then we're only on 1 Preventer, because of deck space. At this point, you could probably just run 2, but I haven't really found an issue with only running 1 Preventer so far. It is debatable to bump it up to 2, but the only issue is that it's kind of just a brick if you open it in this version, because you're not on very heavy Rescue Ace stuff. And I'm also not running Alert, as you'll see, because you don't really need it. Your board's pretty full, so Alert's kind of redundant for this build. But yeah, Preventer is just still a good one of, obviously, if you can go above and beyond with your board, you can just summon him, and he helps insulate stuff so much. So he's still a crazy end board piece at 1. And then last but not least, the big boy himself, Turbulence. Just an absolutely broken, crazy card, as you know. Sets 4 from deck. If something else is out on your board, you pop a card. Yeah, nothing much else to say. You usually don't summon him typically. I'll get to that in a second, or in a minute. But yeah, Turbulence is just a phenomenal card. And then for another phenomenal card, we're on Triple Emergency. You'll notice that it's a 60 card list, and we're not on a crazy amount of Rescue Ace monsters. We're just on 6. But even just opening Emergency with your Crystron stuff is enough a lot of the times. Even if you don't, you know, you have 1 card combos. But opening Emergency with your Rescue or your like Terratop or something is if you get like it's Droll insulation, essentially, which helps you win games. Yeah, Emergency summons guy from deck, tributes it. or attributes another guy from hand or field. Yeah, pretty self-explanatory. This card's crazy. And then obviously you can banish it to set a trap for your follow-up. And I'll get into like some combos later with emergency and how it plays around drill. I'll show you guys that. And then for our spell trap lineup for the rest, just on these 4, rescue, contain, extinguish, and HQ. Have debated cutting HQ as well because, like I said before, rescue race isn't really your follow-up, but I think it's just mandatory for, like, it's still follow-up, essentially. So if you get the crackback airlifter, which you most likely will, HQ is just an insanely crazy card. I think you would keep it in rather than not, so I have it in here. And then for the rest, these are just your set targets off of Turbulence and obviously Emergency, so you'd be setting these 4. I was on alert at the very beginning, but I don't really see a point in running it. I have a sort of bigger overkill theory deck list where you do run alert, and then you search like Preventer, and then you do some other lines, go into Amble Whale, and then you can like pop whatever. Yeah, it's just not worth it. So I just run these. They're just interruptions, except rescue can be an interruption if you're down bad, but usually you're just bringing back your turbulence with it to protect your hydrant that you send or summon off emergency because you have to tribute your turbulence. But yeah, rescue's just a really good card. And then for the, I guess, quote-unquote free agents, free agent machine guys, we're on 1 Regulus because if you have more than 1 card combo, you can just search him off of the Infinitrack guy. You'll see in the extra deck we're on him for the combo. But yeah, you can just search him. And then the goo that kind of brings us all together, some random bulk I found that I was like, oh my, this like ties everything together, is Gizmek Tanaguku, the Immobile Intellect. The frog. You thinking. But yeah, this card is, he just completes the deck. I love him. Even just opening him, if you pitch him, he does what he needs. So on normal or normal or special, it doesn't really matter too much. Take a machine with attack equal to its own defense and place it on top. But the biggest part is that you can banish it from the grave, then target 1 machine in your grave whose attack equal to its own defense, which, newsflash, this is 3k, 3k. All the rescue monsters have attack equal to their own defense, and special summon it in defense. Yeah, I mean, it's just nuts. This is what completes the 1 card combo. Yeah, I don't know. You'll see him in combos. He's crazy because he's an Earth Machine, so Earth Machine. So you send him off of. You can send him some lines off of the Infinitrack River Stormer. He's also level 3, so you send him off with Cherubini on lines that you get drolled. I love him, bro. He's sick. Just crazy card. Weird synergy, but it's just nuts. But yeah. On to the, I guess, 1-ofs for consistency. Rhoda, a pot, and a 1-for-1. Yeah, these are just pretty self-explanatory. Pot is a debatable one, honestly, because the extra deck has gotten so tight. At first, with the first builds and in like normal Crystron, you have pretty well a decent amount of free space to just banish 6. But I'm finding a lot of times that depending on what you hit, it varies so much in your extra deck that you just want to banish 3 a lot of times. There are worlds where you just banish 6 and you're just looking for an on-engine because you know your line already. But yeah, Pot of Prosperity is still just Pot of Prosperity. Helps with consistency, especially in 60 cards if you see it. 1-for-1, pitching a Smiger off of 1-for-1 for a Hydrant is disgusting. And then Rhoda is, it's a debatable card, I feel. Like, it's good in normal Rescue Ace, and I was on Impulse before, so like in theory you could insulate your end board with it, but I found that Impulse just taking up free deck space that doesn't do anything going first. Then going second, it just gives your opponent a free talents and thrust pretty much, so you don't want to play into that. So despite draw 2, discard 1 off of Fire Attacker being crazy, you don't want to trigger thrust for something that's that pretty menial, so yeah. But yeah, grabbing your Airlifter is nice. Just solo 1-card combo. And then on to non-engine, just to make it 60 cards. We're just on a decent amount of non-engine. This has been like flipping for me, honestly, except for a few. The one that's not going to change at all is Triple Forbidden Droplets, because, I mean, Rescue Ace, it doesn't really do much for you, other than sending, like, dead cards in your hand to the grave. But obviously for Crystron, this is, like, a starter in and of itself with Smiger, so, yeah, crazy. And you don't really lose much value, if at all, with this usually. 3 Nibiru, we're just on 3 because it's 60 cards. Higher deck count, so you want to see it. It's been nice. I was on triple Imperm, triple Ash, and a call by, but like seeing one hand trap this format is not enough. Whereas if you're on something like this, you're gonna probably usually see one hand trap, or one going second card, maybe 2. So it's, yeah, I feel like just high impact for now. Triple Thrust, triple Tactics Thrust. A crazy card. Nothing much else to say there. 2 Druis and 1 Magnamut. This is, like, this non-engine's pretty free space for what you prefer. So I'll just show it off quick. 2 Talents, 1 Evenly, and 1 Call By. Talents I feel like is very good this format, as it, you know, as it's shown with like a lot of people's deck lists. They're always on Talents, at least one of it, or 2. So Evenly, search off Thrust, and then Call By for just a 1 of. It's really good into like Blue Eyes and stuff. So Blue Eyes Eclipse Twins or like Detonator. Stuff like that. So that makes it 60, and now on to the extra deck. We are on, for links, this was a Mechaba, but in testing I found some lines you need 2 Clockwork Knight, especially for making Smiger a 1-card combo. You need 2 Clockwork Knight. But yeah, this is going to Clockwork Knight. He is insane. Obviously, grabbing Clockwork Knight is nothing for this, like, you're not doing it in this deck. But the other effect, to revive a machine with 1,000 or less original attack, is sort of like part of some of your bread and butter combos, a lot of them, which I'll show. So yeah, 2 Clockwork Knight, 1 Cherubini for your Terra Top. This guy can also send your Gizmek as well as your Smiger and your Scrap Recycler, fun facts, to level 3. So yeah, Cherubini is just really nice for this deck. And then the links that you don't usually see, 1 Barricade Borg and 1 Platinum Gadget. These allow you to get into your 1-card combos. Barricade Borg Blocker, not... Like, these are both necessary for this deck, don't get me wrong. Barricade Borg Blocker doesn't come up... Actually, no, these both kind of come up the same amount. Platinum Gadget, you summon a guy from hand with 2 machines. And it just, you know, frees up spots, comes up in some combos. For the Smiger 1-card combo. And then Barricade Borg Blocker pitches stuff from your hand, which comes up a lot if you need to revive it with Clockwork Knight. And you have like a Cherubini instead of another machine. So, yeah, because he's just generic, so. He's nice. On to the Synchros. We're on double Skeletus still. Pretty self-explanatory, a crazy card. The attack nerf does come up a decent amount. For like Bestials, it's hard to swing over. Like Dawn Dragster, you can't swing over if you have this up. So, yeah. Like having this guy on board just helps you out. But even if not, like he's part of your combo. Grab back a guy. It's almost always going to be the level 5 from your grave to grab back with him. And then when he's destroyed, summons a guy from grave or banished, which will be the Tristaros. Rest of the Synchros, 1 Chambara. This guy's like, you know, he's here. He's here for OTKs. He's one of like the more free spots, but I feel like you should run him just for like OTK lines. Yeah. Samurai Destroyer, pretty self-explanatory. He's your thing for if you get nibbed, pretty much. Just revives a machine if he's sent to the grave by card effect, or leaves the field. Leaves the field because of opponent's card effect. Target a machine, engrave, and summon it. It's not once per turn, I don't think. Doesn't really matter too much. Yeah, it's not once per turn, so. Yeah, sick. 1 Dawn Dragster. You don't need 2. You really don't need 2. Some lists, you do run 2, just there's no point. Even on some lists that I've seen run 2 Dawn Dragster and pure Crystron, they're like, it's just overkill. You never really go more than 1. At that point, you're winning the game. So, yeah. One Quarian Gondrax. He doesn't come up as much in this deck as Pure because your end board is so filled. And you're not like trying to go for the full Crystron board all the time. But obviously there are scenarios where you can with like 2 or 3 card combos. So he's nice to be in the deck still. And obviously grab back the banish from banish is nice. And then the one Legacia, or Legacia, I don't know how to pronounce this guy. It's pretty similar to my old Crystron list except for the links and one of the Xyz. But yeah, this just on summon pops a card and then draws you a card. And if he's on field, 2,000 or less attack monsters can't be destroyed in battle. So I think it's just that you control, right? Your monsters, yeah, okay. Yeah, so protects your Hydrant and your Tristaros and that. And then onto the Xyz, the Nova Infinity package. Crazy cards. You make this before you go into your second Xyz, so it's just nuts. And then the last but not least is Infinity Track River Stormer. This is in some lists, but this is a crucial part for your combo to bridge one engine to the other. You're typically gonna be grabbing Scrap Recycler unless you start with it, then you're sending Gizmek, whatever his name is. But yeah, crazy card, and if you have 2-card combo, you just grab a Regulus with this guy. Yeah, and that's insane. And it's usually your tribute for your Clockwork Knight. So, yeah, that's the list. Full 60 cards. And now I'm going to show you guys some combos. See you there. Yo, so we're back with combo, the 1-card combo. I'm going to show inclusion first because it's the simplest one. But essentially, you're going to be doing the same thing with your Terratop and your Foolish Burial. Get you the same conclusion, or get you to inclusion as well. Like, you know, make Cherubini off of Terratop, send Smiger, Banish, and Foolish, send Smiger, Banish, grab inclusion. So, from this point on, activate inclusion. Go ahead, grab yourself your Sofador. This is pretty standard Crystron stuff, honestly. Sofador, target inclusion, summon itself, pop inclusion. On summon, dump 2 Crystron monsters or cards. Dump your Sulfefnir and dump your Thistivern. Thistivern will banish, grabbing your turtle. And then Sulfefnir effect, pitch Parasortal, summon him, pop him, and then Sulfefnir will grab your Tristaros, summon him, and then make a Synchro 7. I've done this like so much. To Eleskeletus effect, make sure you grab back a level 5. Doesn't matter which one, just grab back, I don't know, Sulfador for this one. Doesn't matter. Because they both do stuff in grave as well, so it doesn't matter on your follow-up either. Not Eleskeletus, Tristaros effect, to pop the Eleskeletus and summon 2 from deck. Those will be your other 2, or your 2 level 5s as well, which will be, it doesn't matter which ones, Sulfador, Sulfefnir, or like double Sulfefnir, I don't think it matters too much. And then Eleskeletus will trigger to grab back your Tristaros. Now if they nib you here, you still get to your Rescue Ace line, and you Samurai Destroyer, bring back whatever. And it gets you some stuff. So yeah, because they're not going to nib you on Nova, because some people still are on Mechaba, so yeah. Go Nova, it doesn't matter too much. And then go Infinity. So now you have the Negate, which is nice to insulate your combos, as well as Tristaros to also insulate your combos from stuff. From here, we'll go the Tortle to whatever, to summon this guy, level 5, and inclusion target Sulfafnir to summon him back. Overlay these guys. I don't think zones matter too much. Free up the middle zone, actually. Make sure the middle zone is free. I don't think it matters too much because you're going to be clearing it. But yeah, make a River Stormer. River Stormer will detach because it's just 2 level 5s. Take one Earth Machine, either add it to your hand or send it to the graveyard. Because you have not normal summon in this combo, grab your Scrap Recycler. Broken card. And then you normal summon Scrap Recycler, use the effect, and if they try and imperm you, just go to Staros, summon Citri, make a Chambara, I guess. Or you can just like summon, I don't even know what. Yeah. There's probably like other ways to do it, better ways, but yeah. Scrap Recycler will send Turbulence or the Gizmek, doesn't matter what order here, honestly. Link 1. Yeah, this combo line doesn't matter, but just get used to freeing up your middle zone for like Platinum Gadget lines. Clockwork Knight effect, target your Scrap Recycler, tribute River Stormer, summon Scrap Recycler, trigger its effect again because it's not once per turn. I love old cards. And then that'll send your Gizmek guy, Mobile Intellect. From here, you can like link these guys off. Doesn't really matter too much. Probably want to free up some free space. But yeah, here you Gizmek, target your Turbulence as 3k, 3k, summon him out, and then Turbulence effect, set your 4 from deck, which will be, you know, emergency, rescue, contain, extinguish. So this is the basic 1-card combo off of just inclusion. You can also, you know, if you open like more stuff, you can Platinum Gadget stuff out, and then just suck it up with Infinity, grab an extra negate. So you can free up some free space for like Tristaros and Emergency if you have to chain both. You probably want to leave 2 free zones for this end board. But yeah, you'll have Emergency on your opponent's turn for your Hydrant, getting rid of Turbulence, rescue back your Turbulence to protect your Hydrant if you want to, or you can just rescue, take one of their stuff, which is usually what you're going to do. Contain and Extinguish, or just Contain and Extinguish, Infinity, Tristaros, and the 4 other cards you have in your hand. So, which, if you have extenders, you're going to get to Regulus, which I'll show you guys some other lines too. So that was combo line 1, I'll show you guys combo line 2. Okay, so combo line 2 with Scrap Recycler only. It's a little different. It's not going to show like these different kind of combos, but they all vary slightly differently by the end. So I can kind of skip some steps if you want. But yeah, normal summon Scrap Recycler, send the Smiger, wherever it may be. Oh yeah, I didn't go to it in that line. Dumping Smiger. And then Smiger, banish, grab your inclusion, and then, yeah, you go from there. Summon your Sylphidor, pop, effect, dump Sylphefnir, dump Fistavern, grab Tortoise, Sylphefnir, summon and pop itself by sending Tortoise. Sylphefnir will summon this guy from deck. You know the drill. Alloskeletis, still bring back to level 5. And then Tristaros, pop your Alloskeletis. You might as well hold this until later to make Clockwork Knight. But yeah, summon these 2 from deck, Alloskeletis, bring back Tristaros. Make your Nova, make your Infinity. So yeah, it's still pretty similar here. Inclusion and Tortoise, summon this, overlay. So you might as well, like, before you summon both, so you have a free zone for your Tristaros for whatever reason, make a Clockwork Knight, overlay these guys into River Stormer. River Stormer, detach. This is where it goes differently because you already have the Scrap Recycler in grave. So River Stormer, detach, and you just dump the Gizmek because it can send or add, which is nice. And then Clockwork Knight, tributes, summon Scrap Recycler, then tributes, and then yeah, grab Turbulence, and then banish to summon the Turbulence, and then set your 4 from deck. So yeah, leads you to the same thing, and then obviously you can link these 2 off for whatever, stuck up with Infinity, and then you have free zones. Yeah, that's slightly different, but figured I'd show it. And then I think the one that's most complicated is Smiger, so I'll show that one off. Alright, so here is the 1 card with Smiger. For the most part, it's pretty similar as with the other 2, so you're just doing normal Crystron stuff. It's in a Clockwork Knight now. Smiger, grab inclusion, and then, you know, similar stuff. Summon by popping, dump this, grab. This will eventually get summoned off of Sylphefnir. Grab your Sortal, pop, summon. I just don't want to skip any steps, just in case. Yeah, this, pop, summon, this Alloskeletis, summon, making Nova and Infinity. I still want to grab level 5. These 2, summon, so play summons better. Make these guys into a River Stormer. And then here we will River Stormer, detach, and we'll grab the Scrap Recycler. Now because we've normal summoned, this makes this a little weird, but it's fine. So from here, we link these 2 off into Platinum Gadget. Platinum Gadget effect, summon the Scrap Recycler from hand. Scrap Recycler effect, dumps one or the other. And then link this off for the for the second Clockwork Knight, which I don't own currently, but we'll be getting Clockwork Knight. An effect, target scrap recycler, send the platinum gadget. Summon this back. Dump this link first into like barricade ward blocker. Yeah, this is kind of a mess, but you know what I mean. Like this, summon this back. Nope. Summon this back and set your 4. So yeah, they all lead to the same thing. This is like your standard 1 card with everything. Kind of similar, but like, I mean, Platinum Gadget kind of just solves the issue of this line being a little more complex. Yeah, very similar. Now I'm going to show you guys one last line, and why I like this deck so much is how it plays around Droll. Okay, so now this is, I mean, it's obviously a 60 card deck. You're not going to see this all the time, but there are different combinations that play around different things and similar things like Droll. But this was, in theory, one of the first things I thought of when I was like thinking about this deck. Is Rescue Ace is very, I guess, low to the ground, you could say, for like its minimal combo to get a lot of stuff. So if your opponent expects like a blowout hand trap against you, like Droll or Lancia, then Rescue or Shifter, then Rescue Ace stuff like Emergency is just enough a lot of times with like Airlifter or something. But this was what was happening with me with my games I was testing it in. I'd open Terra Top with just an Emergency. You summon Terra Top, get the effect. I don't know, I just like summoning an attack now. Doesn't matter too much. Grab Tagatomborg, and if they drop Droll on you here, all you have to do is summon this, link 2 to Cherubini. Probably want to Emergency now for like an Ash check in case, you know, you get Ash and then you have like other lines in your hand, but might as well do pre-Cherubini, because if they do Ash this, you just send this something for follow-up, I guess. Summoning the, where is he? Oh yeah. Summoning Turbulence, dumping Turbulence. So it's just a Foolish Burial pretty much. So Foolish Burial also gets to do the same thing. And then Cherubini, target itself, send the level 3 Gizmek. And then he revives your Turbulence, and then you just get a set 4 from there. And I guess Cherubini points to it. Not like the craziest thing, obviously, but like under Droll compared to a nothing end board. Whereas with this, it's either forcing on another hand trap with whatever else you have, or you end on the set 4. Is just, it helps a lot, I feel. That was kind of like the theory with this deck, and so far I've been loving it. I recommend giving this a try. I think it's not the most expensive thing now, especially with Citri and Sylphefnir getting OTS reprints. This is, you know, pretty free to try out and see if you like it. This guy's also super cheap and easy to find, so, well, I don't know about easy to find, but he's super cheap. But yeah, that's the deck profile. Hope you guys enjoy. Let me know if you guys have any suggestions or thoughts, because I'm still labbing out this deck a whole bunch. There's still like new stuff I find like every other day pretty much. Like I just discovered the 1 card Smiger line like, I don't know, 2 days ago. Even though it seems simple, I just wasn't thinking about extra deck space. So yeah. Yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one. See you.